There's our wolf. Come on. There we go. We have owls now. Hello and welcome to another episode of Regrowth Reloaded. Okay, today we are going to be doing a little bit more witchery stuff. So of course that means we're going to start down here in our Botania area. Sounds odd, I know, but there are some things that we're going to be doing. And so let's take a look in our quest book, and we're going to go to chapter 10. How the world grows. Let's open that up, and we're going to come up here to hop along. Toads died out in the wild a long time ago, long before the cataclysm you face anyways. Yet they are still an important animal for witchcraft. So much so that a method was devised to mutate other creatures into toads so that they could be readily available for witches should they be needed. Unfortunately, the cataclysm did kill any breeding stock there may have been, so you'll have to mutate your own toads. To start, you will need 2 to 4 ensnared small slimes and an ocelot. Once you have these ready, place a spider's web above a block of water and place the ensnared slimes to the sides of the web, then place 4 graspers at the corners of the square, and in them place a charged tombstone and 3 mutandis extremis. Then get the ocelot caught in the web and right click the web with your mutating sprig to turn the entire slimes into toads. Woo! Okay, so first things first, we need to ensnare 2 to 4 small slimes. Now, we have our critter snares in here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab half of these for this. And I've got 2 spawn slimes, and I believe these do like medium slimes, so hopefully one of these will be enough to do what we need to do. So I made a little area over here just so I can kind of keep this contained, and I'm going to put these critter snares on the ground here. That, and then let's go ahead and try this with one of our spawn slimes anyways. See if we can. Okay, so let's go ahead and smack him. So we got 1, 2. Okay, we got 2 of the little guys. All right, let's try this again, see if we can get the other 2 that we need. Oh, come on. So we got 3. So I need to make another spawn slime. So let's see what it takes to. I got a rinse right hard out of that. How do you like that? Spawn slime. Okay, 2 slime crystals, a bucket of milk, 4 experience drops, and a spawn cow. Do I have a spawn cow? Let me see. Spawn cow. Pig, sheep. Okay, I do have another spawn cow. Alright, so let me get the things I need together for this. I'm going to go ahead and catch our last slime, and I'll be right back with you after I'm done with all that. Alright, so I got my slime, so let's go ahead and pick these guys up, and they will stay in these critter snares. And let's go set them aside for the moment, and then we're going to work on something else. So I'm going to just put these in here. Put the slime aside. Let's take a look at the other one, because we have to do something similar. So, Parliament presiding. Owls died out in the wild a long time ago, long before the cataclysm you face anyways. Yet they are still an important animal for witchcraft, so much so that a method was devised to mutate other creatures into owls, so that they could be readily available for witches should they be needed. Unfortunately, the cataclysm did kill any breeding stock there may have been, so you'd have to mutate your own owls. To start, you'll need 2 to 4 ensnared bats and a wolf. Once you have these ready, place the spider's web above a block of water and place the ensnared bats to the sides of the web. Then place 4 graspers at the corners of the square, and then place a charged tombstone and 3 Mutatis extremis. Then get the wolf caught in the web and right-click the web with your mutating sprig to turn the ensnared bats into owls. So we need to get the bats in the critter snares. So I have 4 more critter snares here, as well as 4 spawn bat eggs. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Now, I probably should only made this too high, but we'll see. The bats are a little more tricky because they'll fly all over the place, where the slimes, you just got to get them to jump into this. So let's see if we can do this bat like right here maybe. Got one. Come on. Try another one. Got 2 of them. Let's see if I can get... There's 3 of the 4. Come on. Let's go in that corner. So let's try putting the critter snare there maybe. Or here. There we go. Got our 4 bats ensnared. Alright, so let's put these guys aside for the moment as well. And then we have all the other things that we needed here. We needed the mutating Mutatis extremis and the attuned stones. I've got some cobwebs. We've got our graspers. I've got a spawn wolf and a spawn ocelot. And then I've got raw pork chops and rotten flesh. Now the pork chops, I did not kill my pigs. There is a way of getting pork. So let me just show you that real quick while I'm at it. So, you have your raw pork chops, cooked pork chops, pork nuggets, pork stew. Okay, that's one I've never heard of. But you got this raw pork chop with a question mark next to it. That is rotten flesh with Mutatis will make a raw pork chop. So, that isn't really good for anything, but if you take that and you combine it with another Mutatis, so the raw pork chop with the question mark with Mutatis will give you a regular raw pork chop. And we need these to tame the owls, and the rotten flesh we will need to tame the toads. So there are other things you see in here. As you can see, I've got witches' hats, a spawn witch, a spawn hobgoblin, man of steel, and a witch's hand, and some experience drops. Let's take a look real quick at chapter 9 in our book. We'll come back to this and we will get these guys going here in a moment. So come back in here. Chapter 9, the life of the world. And this one opened up witch. Not all witches are inherently unfriendly, and some even have an expressed interest in forming a coven with those experienced in the art. Time to see if you can turn a few more witches friendly. So what we need to do is make a spawn coven witch egg. And if we take a look at that recipe, it is a witch's hand, a witch's hat, a witch's robes, man of steel. Oh no, that's koboldite. We can't do this. I don't have any koboldite. So we're going to have to do something with kobolds in order to get koboldite. So, alright, well, that is going to have to be put aside for the time being. Let's go ahead and let me clean up my inventory real quick. And then I will meet you outside after I sleep through this storm. And we will get ourselves going with some... these owls and toads. Alright, we're out here in our witchery area, and I built these two little areas here that we're going to be using in order to capture our owls and our toads. I didn't want them, the problem with them is that when they come into existence, they will fly away. The owls will, the toads will hop away. So I wanted to keep them contained and safe in an area where we will be able to tame them. So let's take a look in our quest book again, and let's come back up here. To start, you need 2 to 4 ensnared small slimes and an ocelot. Once you have these ready, place a spider's web above a block of water and place the ensnared slimes to the sides of the web. Then place 4 graspers at the corners of the square, and in them place a charged attuned stone and 3 Mutantis extremis. Then get the ocelot caught in the web and right click the web with your mutating sprig to turn the ensnared slimes into toads. Okay, so let's start off here. I'm just going to do it here on the side. Let's dig up that. I'm going to go ahead and put a bucket of water in here. Let's get our dirt, put it there for the moment so that I can put a cobweb here. Okay, then we need our slimes. Need one here, 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 here. We need our graspers, 4 of these. We need one here, 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 and here. Then we need to put a charged attuned stone and in one, then our Mutantis extremis in the other 3. 2, 3. Okay, now let me get ready here. We need our ocelot and our mutating sprig. So let me get the ocelot, and we're going to just kind of put him in the spider web here like that, and then click on it with the mutating sprig, and there we go. We have toads. Now let's get our rotten flesh ready. And that one's ours. That one's ours. Are all these guys tamed now? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, I will eventually, but right now we've got toads hopping all over the place. So let me go ahead and let's come back into our quest book. Just so you know, we do have to kill it. Once you've got your toads, you can tame them with rotten flesh, at which point they will follow you unless you tell them to sit. Tame adult toads can also be bred using rotten flesh, so you never have to mutate any more toads again, unless you kill off all the ones you have. Killing toads can sometimes need a frog, with the chance being increased if an Arthana is used. So we're just going to go ahead and use our Terra Blade on this guy here. Did we get our Toa frog? We did not. How rude. Alright, let's see if we can get one from this guy here. I got 2 slime balls from it. No Toa frog? Come on. Alright, I'm going to have to breed these guys up here. Let's see if we can do this. And you, and you. How do you get these guys to... They're sitting still at the moment. There we go. We got a baby frog. Sit. 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 All right, let's try this again. I could have sworn I saw a toe of frog drop. No, I'm getting nothing but slime balls out of this. Alright, well, I'm going to leave the frogs alone. Pick up my graspers. I'll try breeding them again. Stay put. Alright. That's annoying. That is really annoying. I swear I saw a toe of frog drop. Okay, let's try this now with our owls. So, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to dig our hole here. Let me go get a bucket of water real quick. Close the door. We need our critter snares with our bats in it. Our graspers. Let's see if I can put down this cobweb. I should have put it down first. Nope. All right. Cobweb. Critter snare. Grasper. And then we need, again, our Charge to Tune Stone, 3 Mutandis Extremis, a Spawn Wolf, and our Mutating Sprig. Here's our wolf. Come on. There we go. We have owls now. Alright, so owls need the pork chops. That one's ours. That one's ours. That one's ours. Come on. There we go. We now have owls. Let's see. Let's see if we can get these guys to breed real quick too. Oh, we do. Got a baby owl there. That one sit. Come on, sit down. There you go. If their toes are pointing out, it looks like they're sitting. Come on, sit. There we go. Now the evil part. Alright, we got our owlet's wing that we needed from the other thing. Alright, you need to sit. Come on. Sit. 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 Stupid owls. Alright. Let's take a look at our quest book real quick. Toad, all killed. Kill a total 1. Oh, okay. So it gives us a toad's foot anyways. We get 3 of them. And then owlet, same thing. We need to kill 1 owl, and it'll give us 3 owlet's wings. All right. So, is this little guy gonna ever stay put? I don't know. Let me run back, sleep, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so I went ahead and put up the stuff that I had extra in my inventory. I do want to put away some of these other things that we have here. Let's see, frog's legs and the. I'll go ahead and put those graspers in here and owlet's wings and this stuff. I'll hold on to that. All right, so I want to take a look at something. I was thinking about doing the quest to get us a familiar so that we can start getting a little further with the coven witches and whatnot, but that requires demonic's blood, so we're going to have to do like a demon summoning ritual, which I don't want to do today. So let's just take a look at something else. We'll go ahead and take a look at, what chapter is this? This is chapter 13, The Way the World Bleeds. So let's open this up. We're going to come up here to Dark Developments. You've occasionally encountered a device which seems to be the way the pigmen transported the ores from this realm. A little research has led you to believe that the core of this device is a machination of blood magics. Perhaps it was their meddlings in this art that led to the cataclysm you know so well. Best way to find out may well be to indulge yourself in this art yourself. One cannot practice blood magics without a basin to collect the spilt blood in. This forms the basis of the larger construct known as a blood altar. So we need to make a blood altar, and that's going to give us a soul chunk claimer. So let's take a look at the recipe for this. This is 4 altars, witchery altars, a runic altar, a charged attuned stone, and 2 thaumium ingots. Okay, so all right, so we need to make another charged attuned stone. I don't think I have one in here. I do. Okay, thaumium ingots. Let's first of all let's look at what it takes to make these altars. It's Breath of the Goddess and Exhale the Horn 1, and that gives us 3. We need 4. Of course it does. Breath of the Goddess, Exhale the Horn 1. So we need 2 of those. Breath of the Goddess is this one, and Exhale of the Horned one is this one. 2 of those. All right, and then we need 2 thaumium ingots. Let's see, do I have any thaumium over here? And as you can see, I did put a couple of great wood trees and a silverwood tree over here by our Thaumcraft area. And the silverwood tree did indeed have a pure node in the middle of it. So we've got a little bit of a magical forest biome right here. So our water is nice and blue, most of it anyways. And then I designed an outside here, and these are just arcane stone blocks that I used with chisel to make a nice little cool opening. And then I put some of the nitor outside here to light it up on the outside. I also made this thing here, which is an alchemical centrifuge. And what this does is you can take these things here, the jars, and with the stuff inside of them, and you put it down here, and it will separate it into the aspects that are in there. So I've been using that to with some of these ones that we have a lot of, to separate them into other aspects that we can use here. But let's see what we got. Do we have any thaumium? We don't. Alright, what does it take to make thaumium? Where's my Thaumonomicon? Go look at that real quick. Oh, where's my thaumium ingots there? And just so you know, these ones here, this dark magic or dark forbidden knowledge stuff. I haven't been doing those because they make you go crazy. And I don't want to do that yet because we got a lot of other things that we're going to be doing. I'll be start opening up some of that forbidden magic later on in our series. So that's why I haven't been touching any of these ones, the glowing purple stuff around them. I don't want to start encountering some of the things that you'll hit up with the craziness in it. So where is our Bombium? Bombium, where are you? There we are. And that is 4 precantatio with an iron ingot. Okay, we need 2 of them. I've got some iron in here. Precantatio. Precantatio is this one up here. And just put that down here. Go ahead and put our iron in here. Bombium. Let it do its thing. 1, 2. There we go. And that's all we needed out of our Thaumcraft area. And this big mess of thing here, this is going to be where our blood altar is. As you can see, as this blood altar progresses from level 1 all the way out to level 6, it's just like this humongous construct, and I just wanted to make sure that I had enough area set up for it. So hopefully I got it figured out correctly. I just went off of some pictures I found on the internet. So let's run downstairs and let's put this together real quick. All right, let's go ahead and get this stuff that we need. We need an altar, 4 altar blocks actually. So it's this one here. So let's go ahead and see. Do we have stone bricks? I know I got rowan wood. We might not have the water bottle either. Let me go ahead and see. I should have some bottles over here. Let me go ahead and grab 2 of these. Come over here to my water source. All right. So I'll go ahead and put that in there. That'll give us 3. Go ahead and put these in there. Have to make another 3 for the 4 that we need for this. Next thing we also needed was a runic altar, which is mana pearl with that. So let's just go ahead and use that one. I know we've got all that. So we've got the runic altar. And then the blood altar is the next thing that we're going to need. Blood altar, and that is all that stuff. So let's do that. We have our blood altar. So let's go ahead and take a look at our quest book. All right, detection task. To perform the spillage of the blood, a special ritualistic knife must be used to activate the latent power within the blood. Using the knife will deal 1 heart of damage and put 200 LP into a nearby altar. Note, the blood altar has a hidden buffer for fluid input-output that will fill with the first 1000 LP placed into the altar. If you are a vampire, your collected blood will be used before your health. Okay, so we need to make a sacrificial knife, which is an Arthana thrown into a mana pool. So, can we make an Arthana? We should be able to. There we go. And let's go throw that into a mana pool. have our sacrificial knife. So let's take a look at our quest book. We got all that, and we got our soul chunk claimer. Let's just go ahead and claim our reward. And this opens up a few other things slated for improvements and going orbital. Let's take a look at going orbital real quick. Being able to store blood in the altar and use it for crafting is all well and good, but you'd like to be able to tap into a well of life wherever you go. And naturally that means you should create a reservoir and tie it directly to your soul. 2000 LP in any altar is sufficient to transform a diamond into a weak blood orb. This equates to about 10 hearts worth of life drained with the sacrificial knife, after the altar's internal buffer of 1000 LP has been filled, that is. We'll deal with that later on. So let's go outside and let's set up our blood altar real quick. And again, I am not a big fan of the idea of blood magic in the first place. I don't hate it. It's just, to me, it's just kind of how do I put it? Tacky. I don't like the thought of hurting yourself in order to achieve, you know, some kind of power or some sort. So it's one of those things. If you don't want to play this kind of stuff, then just don't. But it's a quest in here, so I'm going to play it through since it's part of our quest line. But in my other Let's Play that I just started, the Simple Life Revival, blood magic is part of it, but is not a required part of that pack, so I'm probably not going to be doing any blood magic stuff in there. Alright, so there's our blood altar. Now let's go ahead and you take the sacrificial knife and you don't put it in there. How do you get that out of there? You're not supposed to put it in there. Alright. Try this again. There, now how do you use this thing? Oh, okay, you just kind of right click and it uses up a half a heart. To fill this thing. So I don't know how much is in there. I know there's ways to find out, but I'm just going to do it until I'm down to my red hearts, and that's how we fill this thing up. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of work on this, let my health get back up where it belongs, and then get it to a point where we'll be okay to go on with the next part of our quest in that line. Okay, well that's it for this episode. We did manage to get our owls and our toads. We got a little few more things we need to do before we can even get into claiming ourselves a familiar, but hopefully we'll be able to do that sometime soon. As well as, you know, getting the coven witches, because we need to make those spawn coven witches. I figure it's easier to make a bunch of those than it is to run all over the place to find them. There was one wandering out here in this area behind me a few weeks ago, and also there was that other one that we found way off, you know, on our first quest map. But you know, if we can just pop them up with a spawn egg and then perform their quest in order to get them in our coven, that'd be a lot easier than searching all over the place for them. So, but first things first, I'm going to have to do something with kobolds, and maybe we'll get to that in the next episode. So until next time, this is Desert Rat. Have a good one. Goodbye.